This is the guy, he's actually bagging off a 45 kg flour. If you notice over here, we have a readout on the scale, and this is certified by GNBS. As you can see, we have it being certified by GNBS. Okay, here you can see the bags are moving up the conveyor. They're packed on pallets. As you can see, they're packed in pallets. And they're stored in the warehouse. This part is the warehouse here. If you move over here, you see. This is the warehouse aspect. We have the product name. The product is labeled. We also have different color thread that we can use for traceability. This is a lane. The lane is actually labeled at the beginning. If you notice, we have here we have the number 2 lane here. As you can see on the floor, you can see this is a lane 2. As we walk through the warehouse, we're entering the small packaging area. So you can see we have Polari mix label. We have roti mix. We have harvest. We have self-rise, and as you can see, this product is on hold. We have this product on hold for testing. This is the small packaging area. This is where we do all our packet flour, the 1 kg, the 2 kg, the retop, the harvest. This is the packaging area. As you can see, the guys are having a little problem with their machine, and they're doing some cleaning up. We're going to take a look at the 1 kg flour. As you can see, this is our packet. We have the ISO 9001 factory compliance there on the packet. This is a 1 kg packet. You have the expiry date on the packet. We're going to take this sample to the lab, and we're going to show you what sort of testing we do on this 1 kg. This is the laboratory. Here you can see we have different instruments. We have NIR instrument. This tells us about the moisture, protein, and ash. We have air oven, also tells us about moisture. We have a falling number instrument over here. As you can see, this is a falling number instrument. We have a farinograph. This also tells us the quality of the flour. I'm going to ask my technician to set up a graph so you can see what it looks like. The farinograph is very important to us. It helps us to determine if the quality of the baker's flour is good for the bakers. Gives us a good idea what's happening with the flour. Here she's adding the flour to the mixer. And she would start the instrument. That's the graph there. She would run it for like a minute. Okay, after a minute, she will be dropping the water. If you look there, she's going to be preparing to drop the water into the flour. And that actually gives us an outline of the percentage of water, the water absorption of that flour. She'll stop it, and then the graph will proceed to run. As you can see there, it's actually developing there. You actually have the water hydration period, then where it actually absorbs totally into the flour. Then you have the mixing starting, and then you have different points developing, like peak. Like it tells us about the softness of the flour, the strength of the flour, how stable is the flour. It helps us to be able to advise bakers on what quality we have for that flour. Okay, this is the sample we just collected from the small packaging area. Deborah, who is the technician here, she will be doing the NIR, which will be testing for the moisture protein ash of that flour. As you can see, we have to ensure we test our product before we release it to the customer. We have certain requirements that we need to follow to ensure that the customer are getting a quality product. So in the laboratory, we do all the testing before we release our product. It's a computer readout. This is the computer readout here. As you can see, the moisture of the flour is 40.17. This is well within our range. We will take these results and we will document it. We have ISO documentation. We document these results. This is an ISO form. We document it and then we go to the warehouse and we release the product.
Well, basically, we're trying to meet consumer needs, right, on a everyday basis, and as a result of that, we're coming out with more and more different types of flour mixes, which we find that the consumer can utilize, the housewives can utilize for their convenience. They're more of a convenience type product. We try to make it as simple as possible so that they can use it in their homes. Even the men folks, not just the women folks, but the men folks can also use those products. So that's been our focus for quite some time. This year we've came out with 2 new products for people who use it for religious occasions. We have the Parsad mix for the Hindus. We have the halwa or the sirni mix for the Muslims. Of course, we're not only catering for that community, because we judge from previous Guy Expo's promotions that we've had, where we had samples of these products, that all of the Guyanese community they would like to have it. This year at Guy Expo we'll be introducing those products, and we're confident it will be a very, it will take off. Our focus, again, as I said, it's on the consumer at all times. We'll be producing a food product which is for everybody, every guy needs to eat. We're also focusing at the moment on our Brazil trade. There have been some hiccups because of the roads, with the rainy season. It's closed down for months, and that affects us, but we're still pushing into that market more and more. So those 2 areas basically is where we're putting a lot of attention to.